UFC Atlanta. How we doing, everybody? My name is Young Pasty, and I'm here today to give you a pick and prediction for every single fight on the card. We got 13 fights coming up for UFC Atlanta. I hope it stays that way because there's a lot of fights I'm actually excited about. So, now as we always do here, we have to recap last week, UFC 316, pulling the results up here right now. We went 8-5 on the picks. Some underdogs didn't come through for us. Jekka just got completely handled out there. Juicing you looked like Conor McGregor. I mean, it was awesome to see. Just a bad pick. Vicente Luque got subbed by Holland. I mean, it was a fun fight to watch. Sean O'Malley didn't show up again. And then I think the Sergey Spivak fight, I think honestly was a robbery. I don't know what I saw out there. Spivak landed the bigger shots and more impactful shots. Got takedowns and wrestled. Waldo, I mean, had more volume technically, but Sergey was defending these shots and had no really impact at all. So that was my 2 cents on it. But anyway, Markel Medeiros gets the win. Killian gets the win. Wayne Kong gets the win. Azamat, first round KO. We all knew that was going to happen. Joshua Van dominated. Kayla Harrison dominated. And then the Joe Pyfer fight kind of really just was lackluster, not really entertaining. Joe Pyfer constantly looking for that one shot. Like, it just... Yeah, he had a good first 2 rounds, but after that, like, his third round was boring. Honestly, so 8-5 on the picks overall for the year, 142 and 83. So, if you guys are new to the channel and you haven't, we are on the road to 300 subscribers. So, click that subscribe button, throw a like on the video, comment. Support goes a long way. Secondly, Patreon is free. Links in the description. That's where you can get all my bets when I place them. Bets video comes out on Wednesday, so you can see my bets before they actually come out on Wednesday. Let's get to it here, guys. Whoa. Let's get to it here, guys. See, I'm excited. UFC Atlanta. Our main event of the evening. We have the former champ, Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian Nightmare, versus Joaquin Buckley, New Mansa. Odds on the fight here. Former champ is at plus 210. Joaquin Buckley, minus 258. Those are the current odds. My pick for this fight is going to be the up-and-coming, younger New Mansa. Give me Joaquin Buckley to win this fight. Look, I got respect for Kamaru Usman. I do. Former champ. Had an amazing run. But as of late, these losses from Leon Edwards aren't looking too hot. Yeah, he was winning this fight prior to the KO, but then loses a decision to Leon Edwards the following. Had a tough fight with Khamzat. Doesn't get takedown and bodied the whole time like most people do, or get submitted in the first round. But nevertheless, he is 38 years old, okay? He has not fought in 1 year and 7 months. Joaquin Buckley has fought 5 times in the last 1 year and 7 months and won all these fights. Okay, no, it's not against Leon Edwards or Khamzat Chimaev, but Vicente Luque, Nerlston Ruzaboyev, Wonder Boy, Colby Covington. These are some pretty good names, some pretty good wins, and pretty good performances from Joaquin Buckley. He's much younger, 7 years younger. He's going to have the speed advantage. He's going to have the power advantage. He's going to be way more muscular. And everyone jokes about Kamaru Usman's knees, right? It might actually be a thing, though, right? What's his motivation to kind of win this fight? Like, Buckley called him out. Is that the only reason why you're actually fighting here? Now it's a 5-round fight. Joaquin Buckley didn't need all the 5 rounds with Colby Covington, but nevertheless, this is a 5-round fight. So how does Joaquin Buckley kind of look in the 4th or 5th round? We don't know. But he has good momentum. He's shown improvements every single fight. His striking is pretty good. He's going to be way more powerful. He mixes in wrestling too. The ground and pound's nice. Good work on the fence. Good top control and good clinch work on the fence. Holds people there. I mean, Kamaru Usman's nice too. And again, I have to put respect on his name. His run was amazing, right? 5-round experience multiple times. Won 3 rounds with Khamzat, who we see is on a crazy run too. About to fight for the title against DDP. He has pretty solid takedown defense. We'll see how Buckley handles that. Good striking, good movement, good leg kicks. Is the power still there, though? I mean, yes, it's always two men in the octagon, and anything can happen, right? But how powerful is he compared to Joaquin Buckley? I can guarantee you that Buckley's probably got a little more pop and power in his shots versus Usman. But the youth, the momentum, and the power are why I am picking Joaquin Buckley. So give me Joaquin Buckley to win this. And I got him by decision. We'll see how he gets tested. Because Kamaru Usman is tough, and this is a 5-round fight. So Joaquin Buckley by decision. The KO is a possibility too. Okay, well, I mean, we've seen Usman get knocked out. Okay, so, and he's on this 3-loss skid. I would say that Buckley has more power in his shots than Khamzat does, right? So, give me Joaquin Buckley by decision. Man, this is a good fight. 84% of people are picking Joaquin Buckley on Tapology. Most say by KO. 16% of people are picking Kamaru Usman, and most say by decision. That would be his path of victory, is Kamaru Usman by decision. Make the fight his style of fight, and avoid the big shots of Buckley. Don't get taken down and land the bigger shots. But man, at 38 years old, 1.5-year layoff, Joaquin Buckley is super active, younger, has the momentum, and much more power. Joaquin Buckley by decision is my official play. Not my official play, my official prediction and pick. So, good main event. We move on to our co-main event. We have Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Fear the Maverick. Odds on the fight -258 for Rose and +210 for Miranda Maverick. My pick for this fight is going to be Rose Namajunas. Okay? I mean, former champ, much more UFC experience, better striker. This is her first 3-round fight in a while, right? Her last one was against Furiat a year and 9 months ago. Usually Rose is in main events or co-main events that are 5 rounds. So, she has pretty good cardio. Both these girls are actually training at Colorado, so you give them that, the training at elevation gives you a little slight edge in cardio, right? Had her pinky broke a while back in one of these fights here. I'm sure she's recovered from this time, though. But Rose, tough girl. Close fight in her last fight with Blanchfield, where she basically won the first 2 rounds and then lost the last 3 rounds. Now, the fear is maybe Miranda Maverick is going to take down Rose, but if so, Rose would be able to get back up pretty easy. Like, Rose is fighting way better competition than Miranda Maverick. Like, yes, give credit where it's due. Miranda Maverick looking pretty nice, right? Had some good wins, good losses in her past, but like her 4-fight win streak, don't get goo goo gaga eyes over it. Jamey-Lyn Horth, Diane Barbosa, Andrea Lee, and Priscilla Caceres. I mean, good fighters, but nothing on the level that Rose is fighting. Erin Blanchfield, Tracy Cortez, Amanda Ribas, Manon, Carla Esparza. So, Rose beat Zhang Weili twice. Don't forget that. Right? Now, yeah, she's, showed some flaws in her game. Rose has, with, get-ups and takedown defense at certain times, but she's definitely improved from fight to fight to fight. And I don't think Miranda Maverick is going to be able to just bully her on the ground, like Erin Blanchfield kind of did. So, Rose is a much better striker. Great combos. Her boxing is nice. She also has good wrestling and top control too, so Rose can kind of mix that up too. Great footwork from Rose. I think she's way more technical in this spot here versus Miranda Maverick. I think she's going to pour on a lot more volume than Miranda Maverick. She really just needs to avoid takedowns, right? And avoid these clinch situations. Just make it kind of a striking battle. You can piece Miranda Maverick up easy, in my opinion. Now, Miranda Maverick does have a slight edge, I guess, in jiu-jitsu. She's a black belt versus Rose's brown belt. I mean, that's not really anything to kind of... I mean, they're elite levels of jiu-jitsu, nevertheless. But nothing... Rose has belts in other forms of art too, so don't get it twisted, right? Now Miranda's going to be a little shorter. She is a tad younger. She has good kicks, good takedowns, good entries, good grappling. I just don't think it's enough. I think Rose is more experienced. Like, this is a big step up here, Miranda Maverick. From Jamey-Lyn Horth to Rose Namajunas, right? Like, that's a big step up in this competition. Actually, Jamey-Lyn Horth is fighting on this card to open it up, I believe. But anyway. Yeah, Miranda Maverick. Gonna be a fun fight, right? I think Rose takes it, though. Rose by decision is my pick. What do the people on Tapology have to say? Yep, so 79% of people are picking Rose Namajunas. Most say by decision. 21% of people are picking Miranda Maverick. Most say by decision. Maybe a degenerate play, Rose by sub. You never know. You never know. But yeah, I think the 3-round fight's going to be much better for Rose. Again, she trains for 5-round fights, but give her the 3-round fight. I think it'll work out better for her. So we move on to our next fight, our featured fight on the main card. We have Edmen Shahbazyan, the Golden Boy, versus Andre Petroski. Odds on the fight, we have -180 for Edmen and +150 for Andre Petroski. My pick for this fight is going to be Edmen Shahbazyan. Okay. I think that Andre Petroski has been fighting, not really the best competition as of late. Josh Frem, Dylan Budka, and Rodolfo Vera. Yes, Edmen just beat Dylan Budka, right? The Rodolfo Vera, not a bad win to put on your record there, you know what I mean? But I think Edmen has a lot more power in his hands. He has very, very heavy hands. He has much better striking and much better kicks. It's kind of a striker versus grappler in this situation here, because Andre Petroski, like, he can strike, right? But it's not not the best. Edmen will piece him up, dude, if this stays on the feet. But Edmen's been working on his grappling and his wrestling quite frequently and for the past few fights here. So and yes, he got ragdolled by Fluffy back in the day, but that was, Anthony Hernandez. I think he would do the same to Petroski, who's a grappler. So I think Edmen needs to check his kicks, keep this on fight standing, and he could find the KO shot, dude. He could have finished Gerald Mearshire if he just told him to get back up, but he engaged in the grappling situation and ended up getting submitted. So I think he's learned from his mistakes. He dang near had this fight, dude. Mearshire was on thin ice, dude. And then you're losing to Fluffy, right? He's beating the people he's supposed to. AJ Dobson, Dalcha. Yes, he probably should have beat Gerald Mearshire, but that's a lesson learned and a mistake he will learn from. Beat Dylan Budka. Petroski got handled by Michel Pereira easy. This fight cost me, because I was backing Petroski in this fight versus Jacob Malkoun. This dude knocked himself out. Goes in for a takedown and knocks himself out. Like, how? Oh. Still to this day, that shit pisses me off, dude. Like, going for a takedown and freaking knock yourself out. That is crazy. But, he's a decent fighter. He has, power in his hands as well, Andre Petroski. He has good top control. So if Edmen gets taken down, he said he's been working on his get-up game and his wrestling and his grappling, and hopefully he can use it to get back up. Because I anticipate Petroski, maybe striking for a little bit, but then going for the takedown pretty quickly. So we'll see how it plays out, but ultimately I think Edmen Shahbazyan will work his way up to the feet at some point if taken down, and again, find the KO shot. I have Edmen Shahbazyan by KO over Andre Petroski at -180 here. So that's my pick. What do the people on Tapology have to say? Oh, wow, he's 7 years younger. Edmen Shahbazyan, 7 years younger than Petroski. I didn't know that. This is closer than I anticipated. So 57% of people are on Shahbazyan's side, most say by KO. 43% of people are on the Petroski side, most say by decision. So that is the most likely method of victory for both of those guys, in my opinion. Edmen to find the KO shot because that's what he does, and his hands are heavy. He's a pretty good striker, much better striker than Petroski is. And if Petroski wins, I don't think he's going to find submission, and I don't think that Shahbazyan is just going to get handled and submit to any sort of ground and pound. You know what I mean? He'll defensively be sound and take the whooping. You know what I mean? If that's the case on the Petroski side. But nevertheless, Edmen Shahbazyan by KO is my official pick and prediction. We move on. All right, our next fight here. We have Cody No Love Garbrandt versus Raoni Barcelos. Odds on the fight plus 145 for Cody and minus 175 for Raoni Barcelos. My pick for this fight is going to be Raoni Barcelos. Cody No Love Garbrandt. I do not have any love for you this week, man. A lot of red flags on the Cody Garbrandt side. Even though, yes, former champ and fighting way better competition than Raoni Barcelos. I will give you that, okay? But he's a little inactive, right? Last fight is over a year ago and got submitted by Figgy quickly and easy. And his wins aren't anything to brag about. Brian Kelleher and Trevin Jones, you know what I mean? And then when you go up against the big boys here, Rob Font and Kyra France, and again, this is years ago, guys. 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So he's like a once-a-year kind of guy. Cody showing up once a year. Raoni Barcelos, he's a little more active, okay? Taking fights every about 6 months, so when it comes to activity, I give the edge to Raoni there, but also Cody Garbrandt's I don't know. Last 2 fights had to pull out. Was scheduled to fight Miles Johns. Undisclosed injury both times. I don't know what's happening with him. So I'm hearing that it's vertigo, but I can't hear any official sort of answer. I don't know what's going on. It's just something that I can't really trust, right? I mean, Cody Garbrandt's good, dude. Got power in his hands. Primarily a striker. Decent boxing. Good and great counter shots. Gets in wars, right? But his momentum really hasn't looked the best lately. There's a lot of red flags, as I just stated. He's hittable at times. Gets in wars, and sometimes he's just a little too hesitant, right? He needs a little more volume. Now, Raoni Barcelos, everyone counted him out versus Peyton Talbot. Comes out and pulls out and says, hey, I'm still here. I'm a man. I'm a grown man. He whooped Peyton Talbot's butt, dude, for 3 rounds. So you give credit where it's due, and I think that's why the odds are where they're at. Otherwise, I think Cody Garbrandt would probably be a slight favorite if he had lost this fight to Raoni Barcelos, or maybe even a large underdog. Raoni Barcelos would be. Beats Christian Quiones by submission, so he's beating younger guys, right? At 38 years old, he can show he can do it. Loses the decision to Kyler Phillips, where he goes to war with him. Loses to Oumar. I'm not going to give you crap for that. Beats Trevin Jones as well. I just think Raoni Barcelos at this point, he's a dog. He's tough. He's going to be pressuring Cody Garbrandt, and Cody Garbrandt really isn't the best, I guess I would say, on the back foot, right? Usually people aren't, even though he has good counter shots. But Raoni Barcelos is going to mix in that wrestling, man. He's going to pressure him, find a clinch situation, get him up on the fence, or just hold him at some point and get the fight to the ground. He has great top control. We've seen it with Peyton Talbot in the last fight here, and we've seen that recently. You know what I mean? And his striking ain't bad, right? He has okay boxing. His leg kicks are okay. He is also hittable too, though. These guys are a little bit hittable, so if this becomes like a striking match, it could be a kind of back and forth situation, a little bit more fun, right? So, looking back at Barcelos' run in the UFC, it really isn't too bad. I'm not gonna hate on the guy, but obviously, Cody Garbrandt has a lot better experience, but 3-2 or 2-3 in the last 5. Raoni Barcelos 3-2 in the last 5. I just know that Barcelos won't give up. Really, his keys to victory here, he just has to mix in the grappling. He just needs to be Raoni Barcelos, mix it, constant pressure, right? Keep Cody on the back foot, make him uncomfortable. This should be the bigger octagon in UFC Atlanta, so it's not like Apex kind of small kind of cage, right? So Cody's gonna have a little bit more room to move around, and I think he'll try and use that to his advantage. But I think Raoni Barcelos is gonna create some sort of clinch situation, maybe get him up on the fence, find the takedown, and he has great ground and pound. His subs are live, dude. Honestly, he could find a sub against Cody Garbrandt, but don't count Cody out. Former champ, dog himself. Yeah, like pretty good striker, pretty good boxing, decent combos. So if this fight is a straight standing striking match, I think I would give it to Cody. So why I'm picking Raoni Barcelos is because he can mix in other aspects of fighting and win in other ways and win minutes in that way versus Cody Garbrandt. So Raoni Barcelos by decision is my official play. What do the people on Tapology have to say? I bet you they're favoring Cody. They sure are. So 63% of people are on the Cody Garbrandt side. Most say by knockout. Okay. 37% of people are picking Raoni Barcelos. Most say by decision. He beat Peyton Talbot and Christian Quiones, who are much younger than him and have a lot of power. Like, Raoni Barcelos is hittable at times, but he's pretty dang durable. Like, you're a 38-year-old Brazilian, a.k.a. you're 34. Okay? These Brazilians, like, they just last longer when it comes to fighting. So, give me Raoni Barcelos by decision. That's my official pick. All right, our next fight here, we have Cody Brundage versus Mansur Abdul-Malik. Current odds in the fight, plus 500 for Cody Brundage and minus 700 for Mansur. Yeah, my pick for this fight is going to be the heavy favorite, man. Give me Mansur Abdul-Malik. Cody Brundage is very chinny, and he's just kind of outmatched everywhere here. He may have a slight wrestling advantage, right? But I believe in Mansur Abdul-Malik. He's very athletic. He has KO power. He's had a great run. He mixes in wrestling and grappling himself. Like, he beat Nick Klein. He beat Dusko Todorovic. Dusko Todorovic has some sort of wrestling. He's very active, right? Fighting every 3 months here. And I would say so is Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage fights quite frequently too. Been unlucky at times. Don't let this record kind of fool you, right? He really is not the best, and that's why the odds are where they're at. So now he is 8-0, Mansur is, and you know how these undefeateds are in 2025. I think Cody Brundage by submission would be a crazy degenerate call. Check the odds on that when they come out. But Cody Brundage is he's okay. He's okay striking. He has decent wrestling. Wrestled in college. He's pulled off some wild wins. Usually a first round guy. That's when his fights usually are won or lost. And Mansur's going to find the KO shot, dude. Nick Klein was tough in the last fight, eating a bunch of shots. But Mansur wrestled in high school, had a pretty good record, and he's super athletic, and that's probably why. But I will say this: when he got to the collegiate level, he got effed up in college. His record was 1-12 or something. So, but he's bigger, he's faster, he's stronger. He's just too much for Cody to handle, dude. So Mansur Abdul-Malik by knockout. That's the official call. That is what's going to happen. That's why he's a minus 700 favorite. The books now. And Cody Brundage is super chinny, dude. So it's just a matter of when that's going to happen. I think it's going to be first round. So, what do the people on Tapology have to say? 93% of people are picking Abdul-Malik. Most say by KO. Obviously, 7% of people are picking Cody Brundage, and it's a split between KO and decision. So, yeah, I got a lot of faith here in Mansur Abdul-Malik. I think he'll get the job done. He's going to get a finish somehow, some way. So, Abdul-Malik, KO is the official pick and prediction. We move on. All right, next fight here. We have Alonzo Atomic Menifield versus Oumar Sy. Current odds in the fight plus 410 for Alonzo Menifield and minus 550 for Oumar Sy. My pick for this fight is going to be Oumar Sy, man. First off, the age difference here, 29 to 37. Alonzo's pushing it here in age. Now, Alonzo is tough, right? This guy's a powerful hitter. He has that one-shot ability. He's like big and muscular. He is like wide and stout. Like he has super muscles everywhere. Decent takedown defense, but honestly, that's where Oumar Sy is going to shine here. Mix in the grappling and wrestling. Take Alonzo Menifield down because he can do it with ease. Ground and pound's nice. Great top control. He has good kicks and good jab when he's on the feet. But his path to victory here is get this guy to the ground and beat him up on the ground. That's why Oumar Sy is a minus 550 favorite, dude. And on Alonzo Menifield can get chinned, and he has been chinned. He's super low volume because he's looking for that one shot. He has heavy shots though, heavy leg kicks too. And decent grappling and scrambling. Honestly, it was a crazy fight he had with Jimmy Crute here back in the day. He can find success on the feet. I just think Oumar has like better cardio. He just needs to get the fight to the mat, man. He's younger. He's probably quicker than Alonzo Menifield. Possible sub on Alonzo Menifield. He puts Menifield to sleep. I don't know. Look at that neck, though. Look at that neck of Alonzo Menifield. But yeah, I don't know. The path of victory is clear here to me. Oumar Sy takes down Alonzo Menifield, gets a ground and pound knockout. So that's my official pick and prediction. But don't get it twisted here. Okay, Alonzo Menifield, been fighting for a while, previously ranked, has some powerful shots. So Oumar, look out. Alonzo Menifield KO's live. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. But Oumar Sy is the official pick. 11-0, another undefeated, you know what I mean? So we'll see if those guys pull out here. 91% of people on Tapology are picking Oumar Sy. Most say by knockout, and the other 25% by decision. 9% of people are picking Menifield. Most say by knockout. So, damn, he's much bigger than Alonzo Menifield too. Oumar Sy is 6'4" to 6 foot and an 83-inch reach to 76-inch reach. Wow. So, yeah, Oumar Sy is the official pick. All right, moving on down. Our featured prelim. We have Paul Craig Bearjew versus Rodolfo Bellato Trator. Odds on the fight plus 295 for Paul Craig and minus 375 for Rodolfo Bellato. My pick for this fight is Rodolfo Bellato. We're not in France. I broke this fight down a couple weeks ago. Rodolfo Bellato ended up pulling out of the fight. Had to pull out of the fight because he got herpes. So I'm actually surprised Paul Craig is accepting this fight again because even though it's been a couple weeks, I really want to accept a fight with someone who just had that. But anyway. My pick then was Rodolfo Bellato, and my pick now is Rodolfo Bellato. So I think he has a lot of flaws in his game and a lot of red flags, but he does have a decent chin. And even though he's sloppy, he has a lot of heart. He's a quick finisher. He has a lot of power in his hands. He's younger. He'll be on the gas tank and pressuring forward, moving against Paul Craig, and he's going to find the knockout against Paul Craig, dude. Paul Craig is 37 years old now. He's just older, and this loss here against Bo Nickel really didn't age well. Like, you had a kickboxing match basically with Bo Nickel, who just basically kicked you and threw some 1-2s the whole time, and you lost to that. Like, it just wasn't a good look. Right now, you're going up against a killer in Rodolfo Bellato, and you're going up against a weight class here. This is a light heavyweight fight. He's usually fighting at middleweight, so he's going up 10-15 pounds here. At 205. So like, I don't 20 pounds, going up 20 pounds, dude. Like, Rodolfo Bellato cuts that weight to get to that amount. Paul Craig's, I just like, man. The weight difference is crazy. He's just past his time, past his prime. Rodolfo Bellato, don't do anything stupid. Don't engage in any sort of grappling, grappling exchanges. Because Paul Craig has great jiu-jitsu. It's tricky, it's crafty. He can find submissions pretty easy. And Rodolfo Bellato has stupid fighter IQ. So he has crazy fights. He throws wild shots. He's constantly pressuring. He's sloppy, but he's powerful. And the power is going to be too much for Paul Craig. So Rodolfo Bellato by KO is the official pick and prediction. That's what it was the first time. That's what it is the second time. 75% of people are picking Bellato, most say by KO. 25% of people are picking Paul Craig, most say by submission. Yeah, that's his path to victory here. But as long as Rodolfo Bellato knows, don't get into that, right? Don't get taken down. Stand on your feet. If you maybe get a knockdown, don't do anything crazy and beat him up on the ground because you can find a submission there too. That's what I would say. But Rodolfo Bellato by KO. Not gonna get it twisted here. It's crazy. You move from the co-main event now to the feature fight on the prelims. That's why you don't pull out of fights here, Mr. Bellato. All right, we move on to the next fight here. We have Michael Chiesa, Maverick versus Court McGee, the Crusher. Odds in the fight, minus 360 for Michael Chiesa and plus 285 for Court McGee. My pick for this fight is minus 360. And my question is, why? And really? 37 years old versus 40 years old. It's the It's the fight of the old men, right? And I think the younger of the old men get it done at 37 years old here with Michael Chiesa. I think Michael Chiesa has fought and won at a higher level than Court McGee has. And we can run through the last 5 and you can see it's pretty evident. Max Griffin, Tony Ferguson, okay, let's count that out. But Kevin Holland, Sean Brady, Vicente Luque. Court McGee, are you going up against people like that? No. Tim Means, Alex Morono, Matt Brown, Jeremy, he's not facing the level of competition Michael Chiesa is, right? So it's almost like Michael Chiesa's fighting down in competition. So that's how I kind of feel about it, right? I think he's stronger. I think he's younger. I think he's faster. I think he's a better wrestler and a better grappler. And Michael Chiesa by sub is my official call here, man. He's looking for the submission. I guarantee you, dude. And there are some questions, right? It's like, he's broadcasting, he's doing events for the UFC. It's like, is he unfocused? So, we'll see that in the octagon. I don't know. I think he has decent volume. He's a smart guy. He's good in the clinch. He has nice, dirty boxing. His fence work is pretty good. He just has this old man, nasty kind of old school vibe. Beat you up kind of vibe. He's gritty. He loves to take the back. And that's what I think this is going to be. It's going to be a rear naked choke by Michael Chiesa. Now Court McGee, 40 years old, also wrestling. His wins and losses aren't, the best compared to Michael Chiesa. But he's gritty, he's tough. He also has UFC experience. He's usually the one pressuring, but I think Michael Chiesa is going to win that there. He has okay striking. He likes to clinch. He's pretty good on the fence with the knees and dirty boxing there too. I think Michael Chiesa, though, is just going to be one step ahead at all moments in the fight here. So Michael Chiesa by submission is my official call and play. Not my official call, but is my official pick and prediction. So keep getting the words twisted. What do the people on Tapology have to say? So 95% of people are picking Michael Chiesa. Most say by submission. 5% of people are saying Court McGee, and most say by decision. So yeah, I think Michael Chiesa gets the job done pretty easy here. We move on to our next fight. We have Malcolm Wellmaker, the Machine, versus Kris Moutinho. Odds in the fight. Malcolm Wellmaker is minus 1,350. A 13, almost 14 to 1 favorite. And Kris Moutinho can be had for plus 800. My pick for the fight is going to be Malcolm Wellmaker. I like this kid. I picked him in the last fight versus Cameron Saman. He has the hype. He has the momentum. He's fighting in his hometown. He has nasty KO power. We've seen it. His striking is good. His distance management is good. He's primarily a striker. He has, decent jiu-jitsu, grappling, wrestling. Doesn't really use it too often. Uses it more defensively, right? But I will say, Kris Moutinho, yeah, even though he's a plus 800 underdog, he has shown improvements in his last fight. And you can see, he's on a 5-fight win streak. But yeah, these are, 14-16, 6-3, 6-7. Like you're not beating the best level of competition. It's outside the UFC. But he's a very tough guy. He has good kicks. His head's humongous. He can definitely eat a shot. Like his KOs against O'Malley and this other guy, and eventually by Malcolm Wellmaker here, they're standing KOs. Like this dude is very, very tough. But like his downfalls are he's just too patient. He's super hittable. His defense is very bad. He's not very good against people who are long or lanky, and that's what Malcolm Wellmaker is in this division. The guy's tough. Kris Moutinho is very tough, and he's kind of been improving in his last fights here. But these are outside of the UFC. You're coming back to the UFC, and they're feeding you to a freaking wolf here, man. You're sheep being fed to a wolf here. Malcolm Wellmaker is going to eat you up and bite you up to pieces, dude. Malcolm Wellmaker by KO is the obvious side. So 96% of people are picking Malcolm Wellmaker. Most say by KO. 4% of people are picking Kris Moutinho. And those people say by decision. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Kris. Tough one there. Moving on. All right, our next fight. We have Cody custom-made Durden versus Jose Calzaver Ochoa. Odds in the fight plus 150 for Cody and minus 180 for Jose Ochoa. My pick for this fight is going to be Cody Durden. Give me the underdog. Give me the old guy. Compared to him, he's 10 years older than him. 34-24. But I like Cody Durden, dude. He's a dog, man. He's a UFC vet. He's very active. You're going to look at his record and not be impressed, but he's losing to Joshua Van, Bruno Silva, Tagir Ulanbekov. These are good people, right? Beat Jake Hadley. Beat Matt Schnell. He was a previously ranked guy, and he's fighting a lot. And he's focused, right? He wants to win. He moved away from his family to train for months here. Good cardio, solid striking. Mixes in the wrestling, though. And that's what's going to really win him this fight. Mixing in the wrestling, taking down Jose Ochoa. I think he's able to get clinch scenarios and able to take Jose Ochoa down. Now, Jose Ochoa, don't sleep on him, dude. Even though he lost his UFC debut to Lanier Kavanagh. Lanier Kavanagh is a pretty dang good fighter, right? Jose Ochoa has good kicks. He's the younger fighter, obviously. Pretty dang durable. He also has solid cardio. He can definitely get rocked at times, and we saw that. His grappling's pretty decent. Okay, Jim. I used to not like Shootbox De Diego Lima, but they've been kind of turning things around over there. He is patient at times. He is pretty technical, but he does not like to be pressured, man. Cody will put the pressure on him, and he tends to be the one pressuring the other fighter. So, but Jose Ochoa's kicks are just to all levels. They're flashy, they're effective, and they're nice. So Cody's really got to look out for that. But I like Cody's striking. I think he has a nice, mixes in nice combos at points. He's not the best in brawls or sitting in the pocket, so he really needs to avoid those. He really needs to do an in and out kind of thing, or strikes in the clinch, or take him down, right? Take him down and get some ground and pound in. But my keys to the fight for Cody winning is grapple, constantly pressure Jose Ochoa and put him on the back foot, and use your UFC experience to your advantage. You've seen people like this, in the past, right? You've gone against much better competition than Jose Ochoa is. So even though Jose Ochoa is young, he needs has a lot more volume. and is a very more athletic, I would say. I think Cody Durden can get the job done here as an underdog. So give me Cody Durden, and give me Cody Durden by decision. Tapology, 64% of people are picking Cody Durden, most say by decision. 36% of people are picking Jose Ochoa, most say by decision. So, fighting out of Peru, we got some good fighters coming out of there. So, solid fight. Very solid fight. All right, next fight we have Ricky Simón versus Charles Jourdain. Odds in the fight, -166 for Ricky Simón and +140 for Charles Jourdain. My pick for this fight is going to be Ricky Simón at -166, okay? He dyed his hair blonde and he just has a new aura to him now, okay? My dude's a dog. He's tough. He has great pressure. He's going to be pressuring and putting Charles Jourdain on the back foot here. I think he's back, man. I think he has a resurgence, okay? I think this win over Javid Basharat, where he was just counted out, really just got his confidence back. Because he was losing to some killers here, guys. Like Vinicius Oliveira, Mario Bautista, Song Yadong. Those guys are all messing up Charles Jourdain easy, right? And Charles Jourdain's victories are not really, much to brag about. Like Victor Henry, okay, like it's a solid win, but I wouldn't say braggable. Ricardo Ramados, trash. Kron Gracie was not good in the UFC at all. Split decision loss over Sean Woodson. I think Sean Woodson did take that fight, but okay, credit to you for going that far. And then John Silva, I mean, you're getting fed to the wolves there, right? Ricky Simón rattling off, that win against Jack Shore and then Javid Basharat. I just think he's counted out at times. And he just has that death touch now. Man, he has some thudding shots, right? This guy beat Miranda back in the day, okay? Coming out of a good gym. I'm hearing a lot of people and talk about Charles Jourdain subbing Ricky Simón. Like, come on now. Like, he only has one sub loss, and that was way back in the day. And he's gone up against some people that really could sub him. I'd be more worried about a knockout here from the Charles Jourdain side. But Ricky Simón, he could get picked apart by Charles Jourdain, but I think he's just going to dog walk him, dude. I think the pressure's too much for Charles to handle. He does not like being back on the back foot or pressured at all. Or hit, really, too much, right? I know he has this longer, lankier build. He has decent movement and, this sneaky, cool kind of striking. But, a tad bit quicker. I will say he's faster in the striking versus Ricky Simón. But Ricky Simón has, the second most takedowns in the division, right? He's going to take down Charles Jourdain or get in the clinch at some point. So, yeah, there might be striking exchanges that Charles Jourdain wins, but when it comes to ultimate control and who I think is going to win the fight, I think it's going to be Ricky Simón. I think he's going to be able to take him down, hold him on the fence, get a lot of ground and pound and dirty boxing in and elbows and control time and make the fight dirty and gritty and get the job done that way. Or if he hurts him and gets him on the back foot, I think he just dog walks him and gets a KO until Charles Jourdain can't handle it anymore. You know what I mean? Succumbs to all the strikes. So the pressure that Ricky Simón brings, the power that Ricky Simón brings, and the wrestling advantage, I'm gonna give Ricky Simón my pick, and I got it by decision. So. All right, Tapology. 61% of people are picking Ricky Simón, most say by decision. 39% of people are picking Charles Jourdain, most say by decision. So, I think Ricky Simón's back, guys. I think this is not light work, but a pretty winnable fight for him. So, all right, moving on. We have Phil Rowe, the Fresh Prince, versus Ange Loosa, the Last Ninja. Odds on the fight, +124 for Phil Rowe, -148 for Ange Loosa. My pick for this fight is going to be Ange Loosa. Give me the slight favor here. I think that his tough, constant pressure is going to be too much for Phil Rowe to handle. I think that he's going to be able to secure takedowns. I think he's going to be able to hold him up against the fence, which Phil Rowe is got held up against the fence pretty easy. We saw it in a few fights. Now, I will say he had a tough loss to Magny, which could have gone either way. It was on the Phil Rowe side, but it was tough, right? But Andalusa, I think the odds are this close because of the reach and height advantage from Phil Rowe here. 6'3 to 5'10, an 80-inch reach to 74-inch reach. But Andalusa has gone up against people that are bigger and taller than him and ultimately beat them. So I'm not really found success there. So I'm not really concerned in that aspect. But he mixes in the wrestling and the grappling. He's going to hold him up against the fence. Yes, Andalusa's hittable at times, the jabs, kind of eats jabs and leg kicks. Andalusa does have power in his hands, though. He can close distance pretty easy. Phil Rowe, inactive. Fighting once a year. It's the Phil Rowe show. I don't like that. You know what I mean? Andalusa's fighting way more than Phil Rowe is. So I like people that are in the octagon more versus I'm here once a year kind of guy, right? Yeah, he's much taller and he's going to have the reach advantage, but I just think that Andalusa's pressure is going to overwhelm him. Phil Rowe gets hesitant and patient at times. He doesn't throw enough volume. I think that's what's been his downfall in a lot of his fights. He's always kind of looking for a kill shot, He's that hesitant. He can get put on the back foot easy. He's usually not the one pressuring at times. And he's also kind of chinny too. He can eat a lot of shots. And his cardio, how good is it? Andalusa, we've seen him go 3 rounds easy. I don't know if Phil Rowe's going 3 rounds. So Andalusa needs to make this fight a Marab style kind of fight, right? Constantly pressure, get takedowns, hold him on the fence. He can strike every now and then, but Phil Rowe got 3 knockout wins for a reason. Yeah, they're not against the best people in the world, but I'm just saying. So Andalusa is my pick, and I have Andalusa by decision. So 62% of people are picking Andalusa, most say by decision. 38% of people are picking Phil Rowe, and they say by decision too. So most say this fight's going to go the distance. Yeah, Andalusa by decision is my pick. So a little bit younger than Phil Rowe. I don't like this once a year. May show up, may not. I don't know. I don't like it. So all right, guys. This is the last fight we're breaking down and the first fight of the night. We have Vanessa Demopoulos, the little monster, versus Jamey-Lyn Horth. Odds on the fight plus 310. For Vanessa Demopoulos and minus 395 for Jamey-Lyn Horth. My pick for the fight is going to be Jamey-Lyn Horth. I will say, though, these odds suck. Minus 395 for Jamey-Lyn Horth. Come on. I really don't think she should be that much of a favorite, but I have lost faith in Vanessa Demopoulos. And it's, what really got me here in this fight is that she's going to be way smaller than Jamey-Lyn Horth. Jamey-Lyn's got a huge reach and height advantage. 5'2 to 5'7 and 59-inch reach to 66. So it's and her takedown defense is pretty dang good, I would say, versus very small girls like this. And it's not like Vanessa Demopoulos is some short, huge, muscular girl, right? It's not it's a Miranda Maverick kind of girl that Jamey-Lyn lost to. I just don't see Vanessa Demopoulos finding any success with the wrestling or the grappling or any exchanges there, right? I don't think she's going to be able to take down Jamey-Lyn Horth. I think she's just very short, not going to be able to find her shots, and Jamey-Lyn's going to pick her apart, dude. So the huge height and reach advantage, and she's just a lot more just bigger. Gosh, I don't know how to say it. And don't get it twisted. Jamey-Lyn Horth has some grappling and some sub experience, but she prefers to strike. Has a decent 1-2. Her striking overall is pretty good, and I would say it's enough to beat Vanessa Demopoulos. So Jamey-Lyn Horth is my pick by decision. What do the people on Tapology have to say? Most are agreeing with me. 82% of people are saying Jamey-Lyn Horth by decision. 18% of people are picking Vanessa Demopoulos by decision. So Vanessa's gotten lucky in a lot of her fights when it comes to the judges' scorecards. So we'll see how this goes, but yeah, Jamey-Lyn Horth by decision is my official call. So All right, guys. That sums it up. UFC Atlanta. We have given you a pick and prediction for every single fight on the card. Again, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Click that subscribe button for me. We are on the path to 300 subscribers. I'm hoping to get there soon. So again, like the video, comment, do your thing. Again, Patreon's free. Links in the description. That's where you can get all my bets when I place them. Bets video comes out on Wednesday. So hey, let's have a good week this week. Okay, 8-5. Not too bad for the UFC 316, but let's have a better week here for UFC Atlanta. So, Young Pasty, out. Let's get it.